Hi, gentle people. So, I've always been curious about how spirits are connected, but it's something that I really don't understand. However, I'm going to share some of my own experiences. Sometimes some weird things happen that there's just no explanation for, and I've always wondered, how is it that spirits are connected? And I mean, I know that we're spirits and God is spirit and we're connected to God and He's connected to us. But I'm not sure how it works when it comes to our spirits being connected. But like a few years ago, the pastor who married Logan and me was sick, and everybody from the church was going, but I could not go. I mean, I can't explain it to you. I can't be around people who are sick. I can't be in hospitals either. Weird stuff happened to me in hospitals. And so I can't be in hospitals, and everybody from church was going to visit him, but I just could not go. And I felt really bad because I liked him a lot. He was personable, he was funny, he was mischievous, he was always joking and teasing and stuff, and just one of those people you just love to be around, right? So um, one night I went to bed and I saw him in my dream, and we were just having casual conversation. You know, he was teasing me as usual, I was laughing, and he's the type of person, is like when he starts talking, I mean, you have to laugh, right? So he was there joking as usual, teasing me, I was laughing, and then he got serious and he said to me, "It's okay." And I said, "What are you talking about? What do you mean?" He said, "It's okay, I understand." And I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And he says, "I understand that you can't come and see me, and it's okay." I woke up and I was just totally blown away. I was like, "What was that?" I was like, "This is crazy." And it's like I tried to wrap my brain around it somehow. I'm like, did it really happen for real? Is it that when I fell asleep, I went into the spiritual realm and his spirit was somehow there? I don't know. But he died about a week after. And even though I saw him in my dream, I still felt a little guilty. I really did. I mean, it took me a while to kind of accept that he was okay with my not coming. Yeah, so that happened. And then there was another incident that blew my mind, and that was when my younger sister Emma had surgery. I didn't want to go home, so I spent the nights on a recliner that was there, and I didn't sleep because, like I said, I can't be in hospitals. And after a couple of days, I was really tired. So one afternoon, I just couldn't help it. I just closed my eyes and fell asleep. And when I fell asleep, I was in a room with two people I didn't know, a man and a woman, and they were sitting cross-legged on the floor. And I went over and I joined them. And they were just there talking. They said hi to me, and I was just listening. And then the lady asked me if I knew when somebody had cancer, because she had cancer and the guy she was talking to also had cancer. And I was like, "No, I don't know when somebody has cancer." And she said, "You can tell." And I'm like, "I don't know, how can you tell?" And she held her hand up to me and she said, smell my skin." And I did, and it had a weird, sickly sweet smell. It was really funny. And she said, "That's what cancer smells like." And she said to me, "Smell your hand." And I held my hand up and I smelled my hand, and my hand just smelled like my hand. And she said, do you smell the difference? And I'm like, yes. And then she said to me, smell his hand. And I did. And his had the same smell hers did. And I felt a little sad for them, although I didn't know them. But they were just like talking in a way that was lighthearted and, you know, easygoing and whatever. And so I joined into conversation. I can't remember now exactly what we were talking about until the man just suddenly got up and said he had to leave. So I was like, okay. And the lady was like, all right, you know, told him goodbye. And he went off to the right. And it was at that moment that I saw that there was a staircase to the right. Staircase that I didn't notice before. And he climbed the top of the staircase and a door opened and there was a bright light. And then he turned around and was waving. And I held up my hand and was waving. And then I said to him, are you coming back? And he said, I don't think so. And I said, why not? And he said, I don't know. But I said, can't you come back? And he said, maybe. And then he waved and left, right? The light was just gone. And so was the door, and so was the staircase. It was weird. And then the woman and I just continued talking. But not long after that, she too started getting up. And I wrapped my arm around her and said, don't leave. And she said, okay, I'll stay a little bit longer. And so we were talking a little bit more, and then after a while she said, okay, I'm gonna leave. I need to leave. And I said, no, please don't leave. And I wrapped my arm around her again. And she sighed, and then she was like, okay, all right, I'll stay a little bit longer. And then it seemed like just a short time afterwards, she was like, okay, I need to leave. And I wrapped my arm around her, but this time she kind of got irritated. And she said, every time I get up to leave, you're holding me back. I need to leave. I don't want to stay anymore. And I was like taken aback. I was like, okay, all right, whatever. I mean, we're getting along so well, and now she's like cross at me. And I felt away. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm not waiting to watch you leave. So I walked away from her, and there was a door ahead of me that I didn't see before, and it said exit. And I pushed the door open, and as soon as I did that, I just heard bong, 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 like just this blaring alarms just going off. And I woke up to the sound of alarms, and the alarms were just going off, and feet were running. I mean, like maybe 20 people were just running to the room next door. I heard them calling a code blue. My sister's room was all glass, those glass doors, so I could see like the spillover from the room next door, and they were working on the person. And I was just there like really uncomfortable, because I was like, oh my God, somebody's dying. And then after everything quieted down, I decided to go have a look at the board they had at the nurse's station. You know, just out of curiosity, because I don't know, somehow in my spirit I felt like the person next door was who I was talking to in my dream. I thought it was silly, but I was like, let me go look. And I went out by a nurse's station, and I was like talking to the nurse, like asking her some questions about my sister, but all the while trying to see the names on the board. And I saw that it was a woman who was next door. Later on in the afternoon, I worked up the courage to ask the nurse about the patient next door. And I said, you know, I know you can't give me any information or anything, but just please tell me, did she live? And she kind of looked at me weird, I guess because I said she, but she said, yes, she did. And I was like, okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you so much for telling me. But then as she was leaving, I thought, you know what? That woman did not want to stay. Whatever anguish and pain she was going through, whatever suffering she was going through, she was ready to go. And so I was kind of happy they saved her, but then kind of sad for her. Just recently, I was going to a funeral for somebody I didn't know very well. I was basically going with my sister. The night before the funeral, I started to hum a song, and I just couldn't get the song out of my head, guys. And so I was like, why am I singing this song? Why am I humming this song? The next day, when I was at the funeral, they had a special item. This guy gets up to play the saxophone, and he was playing the song I was humming the night before. It was just like, oh my goodness, I was just shocked. Yeah, so those are some of the crazy things that have happened to me that let me know that spirits are connected. Now, how it works, I have no idea. Every time something like this happens to me, I'm just like, oh my God, what is my life? You know, we are connected in ways that we don't even understand. Nobody understands exactly how the spiritual realm works, but it's interesting. It is really, really interesting. I'm gonna leave you guys with that. That's it for today. Until next time, thank you so much for watching and for sticking with me till the end. Take care. Blessings.